lesson we're going to look at today is variable expressions with exponents. And so we're going to build on the knowledge of exponents and bring in a variable. And so, for example, our first set of questions deals with the variable b. And every time you see the letter b, it's going to equal the value of 3. So every time you see a b, we're going to have to put a 3 into it. Now, the other thing that you'll see here is occasionally that you'll see this little, what we call a caret. And all that really means is that you have b to the 4th power, or you have 2 to the b power, or you have b to the b power. So every time you see a b, you're going to put the number 3 into it. So this one really means 3 to the 4th. And so what that really means then is you have 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. And now you just have to do the math. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 3 is 9. And then you multiply that. And 9 times 9 is 81. So next problem, you have 2 to the b power. So what that means is you have 2, and when you see a b, you put the number 3. So you have 2 to the 3rd power. So that means you have 2 times 2 times 2. And when you go 2 times 2, that gives you 4. Times 2 more gives you 8. Then, our last example is b to the b power. So every time you see a b, you still put in the number 3. So we're going to have 3 to the 3rd power. And so now we have 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. And then bring down your 3 to times it by 3. 9 times 3 is 27. So this is how you work with exponents that have variables. Every time you see the variable, you put the number into it. Our next example is we're going to evaluate this expression, 4 to the c power divided by 2 to the c power, when c is 2. So every time you see the letter c, we're going to put the number 2 in for it. So first thing, we're going to start with 4, and we have the letter c, so we put a 2 there. Next one, we have the number 2 with the letter c, so we're going to put a 2 in for that. And now what you do is do the math for each of these numbers. So we do 4 times 4 divided by 2 times 2. 4 times 4 is 16. 2 times 2 is 4. And then you have to divide that. 16 divided by 4 is simply 4. Finally, we're going to look at this expression where we have two different variables. And so for this particular one, we know that e is 2. And we know f is 12. So every time you see an e, you're going to plug a 2 in. And every time you see an f, you're going to plug a 12 in. So first up is we have e to the 4th power. And e is a 2. So we're going to go 2 to the 4th. Plus, we have the letter f. So that's going to be 12 to the 2nd. Now what we have to do is each one of these individually. So 2 to the 4th gives us 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 2 is 4. Then you multiply that together, and that gives us 16. Then we bring down the plus sign, and we're going to add 12 squared. So that is 12 times 12. That, of course, gives us 144. And now we simply add these together because that's what the plus sign tells us to do. And so 16 plus 144 is a total of 160. Which brings us to a quiz. So the next assignment for week 3, number 2, is a quiz on exponents. It practices everything we talked about last week and what we just talked about today. So try it, see how you do. If you have questions, you can contact me Monday and Friday from 1 to 3. For office hours, you can get that from the Mr. Ben's launch page, or you could show up in class and ask questions then. Have a nice day.